Don't everyone jump
Okay.
up at once.
All right. So, we are starting here with character creation. The creation of not only this particular company, but Private Emery Centel, Corporal Ceres Alouans, and Captain Xavier Dulance. You guys have noticed that that I put in the Discord chat. I put a lot of the other characters in the company in there. There's a lot more privates in this company than 4. The company is actually made up of 1 captain, 2 lieutenants, 4 sergeants, 8 corporals, and 45 privates. You should have on your character sheets. You will not need the credits or transference skill, but you will want to have firearms.
Got it.
Hacking, hands plus firearms, brains plus hacking, and feet plus stealth. So, another thing worth noting too, you start off here with 15 points for stats and 36 points for skills, as well as 12 dice for relationships. Because all of these characters are already established as heroes. They're part of a relatively revered company in the Orokin Empire's army. So you're badasses. And mechanically, it should be represented with a lot more skill points and relationships. So we'll start by having Zach tell a little bit about Captain Xavier.
Captain Xavier is a man of legend.
What could really be said about our captain?
That we could print.
I feel like we're at his funeral right now.
Captain Xavier is a man of legend. Notably, he has been one of the most successful officers in the military, having or at least of his station, having previously served, helping put down various rebellions and uprisings and breakaway factions and the like. Mostly due to seeming to have incredible consistent luck. That in spite of any bungling he does, things always just work out for the best. He is the kind of man who will trip over his own feet and face plant just in time to avoid it, just as a sniper shot runs by where his head used to be.
Almost drunken master-like.
He also has a strong tendency to just disappear for periods of time. Meaning that he also probably has some of the most competent underlings because they're used to running things and making calls in his place.
Yeah, the lieutenants Rishi Kapiya and Lieutenant Aragonis Fields are your underlings. They have to be competent to compensate for you.
He seems a little bit off, but he isn't completely cowardly. and he's very good-natured at the very least.
What's he look like? Let's give us a good description.
He is a slightly taller than average man of Middle Eastern descent. He's got short and slick dark hair. Short, slick, dark hair, and a goatee. A nice, neatly kept goatee because of military regulations. You have no idea what it would look like if the military didn't regulate some parts of his appearance, which clearly doesn't do enough because his uniform is almost always out of place in some way. Especially his dress uniform. His dress uniform never looks right.
Okay.
Yeah, sharp, and not quite sharp eyes, but definitely like a little narrower brown eyes. He would be handsome if he wasn't always doing something stupid.
Okay. I believe the other person here in the call that had a pretty decent idea for their character, Luke.
Yes?
Give him a man to time.
Nate, darling, you may have misunderstood in the previous session when you went, come up with a thing, and I went, and then my brain went into creative mode, and there was like static on my end, and apparently that created a thing.
Static on your end is right. You sound like a robot right now.
Yeah, you're super robot-y.
Oh, god damn it, really? Come on. See if there's anything I can...
He's playing the part.
He is.
Beep, boop. I am Cyborg. Just going to shut down as many non-essential things on my end.
Hey, that did it. Whatever you just shut down.
Okay, apparently fuck Skype.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying,
really
right?
fuck Skype. Skype's the
Fuck
worst.
Skype.
When was the last time I even used it? Discord all the fucking way.
Fuck Skype.
The bit that you gave us before is there.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of copied that bit over. Yeah, literally, I just kind of went, what would be an interesting physical description? Let's go with that. Okay, Emery Santel. Private, demoted, was a lieutenant.
Oh, you were a lieutenant?
Was a lieutenant, got into a few fights.
You got demoted hard.
There was an incident with the grenade and the latrines and a visiting superior officer, and no official charges were brought, but everyone just decided we should put Emery somewhere they're not going to cause too many more problems, at least for the moment. Looks very kind of austere and very direct most of the time, but has an incredibly dark and unpleasant sense of humor and often takes it out on people rather indiscriminately. But that also makes them a fantastic sapper, trapper, and employer of clandestine warfare. So better to have on your side than to be the poor bastard trying to walk through a kill zone that she set up.
That sounds legit. Okay, so what about Ceres Aluand?
All right. Personality-wise, I think you're someone who's pretty calm, collected, optimistic, but not naively so, you know? So someone who's got a cheery personality, but is also not really in your face about it, I guess, if you can understand my meaning there. Just a warm person who always seems prepared for any situation. I'll work being plant obsessed in here somehow.
I mean, it could be a hobby of hers, like
yeah, very avid gardener Is that what you would call it if you collect all sorts of plants? Desk
Yeah.
plants,
Um,
indoor, outdoor plants.
what's she kind of look like?
Does Pinterest exist in the future?
Yes.
Because her entire Pinterest board is just like succulents and gardening ideas and aesthetic-y plant things.
Aesthetics are very important to the Arcan Empire.
It really is.
Look, there's no better aesthetics are you saying that Pinterest survived because it's just an aesthetic creator?
Truly, Warframe is the worst timeline.
Yeah. Pinterest is the primary social media.
Shit, it makes too much sense.
So social media in the Arcan Empire is just Pinterest and selfies with no words.
Oh god, I am very tickled by this right now. Appearance? She's bigger, right? Like she's a pretty intimidating large lady.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, big is probably a good just general descriptor of her. Big hair, very tall, kind of wider around the hips and shoulders. Lighter skin, but like kind of in the mid-tone range. Probably auburn hair and I don't know. Let's go crazy. Let's go violet eyes. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now we go ahead and move forward to a questionnaire. How long ago was this company commissioned?
The jokey part of me wants to say yesterday, but no.
Born yesterday company.
Welcome to my company.
We're not really a company. We're more, a series of acquaintances.
You are.
God damn it.
You are here for one of two reasons. Someone either really likes you, or someone either really does not like you.
2 years? Do you want to 2 years?
2 years?
Sure.
It's a bit of action.
2 lunar cycles.
Depends on what planet.
What planet are we on?
Stationed on Pluto.
You're on Lua. I mean, you're stationed on Lua. So okay. What is your company's moniker? How did you get it? What is the company
and
called?
in an official sense, or just what the other companies call us?
What's your moniker? Like your official moniker is like some series of like numbers and letters, what do people what do people be like blank? What do they say about blank company did this, and this?
I mean, do we want to have it like some kind of defining thing we did, or do we want it to be?
It doesn't have to be a defining thing you did. The second question there is how did you get it? And that answer can very well just be we made it up and everyone thought it was cool.
Oh no, Amanda's come up with something dumb.
No, I haven't. No, it's fine.
No, you have. Do it.
Well, NATO kept saying that his inspiration for this whole thing was Bad Company, and just in my mind, for a flash, I thought Sad Company.
Oh God.
But no, not that.
We've had enough emotional rawness. For the love of God, let's have some laughs and murder.
That's why they call me Sad Company.
Till the day I die.
Till the day I die.
If this wasn't too far removed for this, for the reference, I would say called Barnum and Bailey.
Oh, God.
Really?
Well, here's my idea. I like the
B&B.
circus analogy because I like the idea that one of the things known as what is that Captain Xavier, when you know, in whatever say he gets over who is recruited and who is assigned to him, tries to recruit very unique people with specialized. So it's kind of like he takes the sort of weird people from other companies that don't quite fit in.
Well, okay, if you want to go with like that kind of like circus thing, we could probably find a better word for it, like show or spectacle.
To be fair, Gillant's
The greatest show on earth. The greatest show on Ceres. Station. Where are we stationed?
We're on Lua.
The greatest show on Lua.
We're gonna say
but
Lua.
the minute we're not on Lua, that would be really confusing.
I don't know, something like Spectacle Company might be neat.
That is how good of a show we are. Spectacle Company. I do like that.
Just walking around with glasses on.
Damn it, that's right, they do call those that.
They're like what called running around with hips, looking like hipsters. No, I was just thinking like something along the lines of Gaunt's Ghost, just having like Gillant's Dregs.
We're called the military's happy accident.
Oh, so my original idea of the bastards would also work.
Potentially. The the glorious fuck-ups.
The Flight of the Concords. No, wait. You shouldn't have asked us to name something.
No,
Yeah,
no,
do you remember how long it took us to pick our
What is
team
it?
name in fucking Rathum?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is what about I'm trying to think. What if we're this is a little bit wonky logic, but what if we're the white elephants?
Do elephants exist in the future?
I mean,
Yes.
maybe they're mythical at this point. I don't know, but
What?
the
Like
point
dragons.
is because the white elephant is the phrase for the gift you can't like that causes problems that you can't get rid of.
Bad dime.
I think it was I think that was a white elephant that some prince used to give to people he didn't like because they had to take care of it because letting it die meant incurring his wrath.
Yeah, that's where we get white elephant gift exchanges, where you just like,
Take my disaster.
yes, please.
Actually, yeah, let's go with Disaster Squad.
I do like disaster, actually.
Ostensibly because they send us into some of the worst disasters, but actually because people believe that we may actually cause some of the worst disasters.
Hey, look, man.
All right.
Disaster Company. I like it.
Not only are you sent into the worst disasters, people
Wait,
question if you
Just-
also cause disasters.
let me table this. I like Disaster Company. Let me know, would Calamity Company be any better?
Oh, Calamity Company rolls off the tongue.
I do actually like Calamity Company.
Calamity Company.
Zach?
Sure, I'm down.
All right.
Okay. Next question: Has Xavier always been the company captain, or did he replace someone?
I was really hoping your question would be, has Xavier always been like this? Yes.
As far as you know, the
Yeah, has he always been the company captain, or did he replace somebody?
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like maybe he did replace somebody early on, but we definitely went by a different name and had different people in it, so might as well he's been here from the start, because we wouldn't be Calamity Company without him.
I will take that as a compliment. Yeah. You-
Okay. Now, tell me about your first great campaign. Were you fighting rebellious factions in the Origin system, mutated flora and/or fauna, side effects of the Empire's rapid terraforming, or is it something else?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Calamity Company was sent in to deactivate a out of control terraforming network.
Okay. Also, you're roboting again real hard.
Oh, God damn it! Do I sound any better now?
No.
Shit.
I like to think that there were some people that needed rescuing, and somehow you took your eyes off Zavir, and he ended up among the people that needed to be rescued.
There's been a moment of, don't worry, we are here to... Ah, crap.
This was a campaign, so this was like multiple
Okay.
missions and multiple sorties. It was basically like what was the first what was the first series of missions and sorties that like made you famous?
Let's see.
Lucas suggested sent in to shut down an out of control terraforming network.
Yeah, one that was like maybe one that was producing some incredibly hostile plant and wildlife as a byproduct, among other issues, and was maybe terraforming parts they didn't want to terraform, like places with really resources they wanted, or
Okay. But like, if we went to any place with crazy, interesting wildlife, you have two people in this company who would want to bring a lot of that back.
There's more than that.
God damn it.
And
our job wasn't to catalog samples. Anything that disappeared was considered whatever.
like any mutated fish and or insect that could be taken and bred in captivity during that campaign, Lieutenant Fields took it upon himself.
What if we were heroes because we stopped this terrible thing from happening, but then it came back to bite us in the ass because we brought back a lot of stuff to home base, and it ended up we had a trouble with Tribble situation.
Also, I imagine because something has to be like at some level, something has to be giving power. There must be some kind of machinery involved in terraforming powered, and maybe a reactor or two happened to have a really critical malfunction, which stopped the terraforming, but did maybe cause a lot of infrastructure damage.
Oh god, I had a worse idea just a second ago.
Did you know there used to be another planet in this sector? There is not one anymore.
I was thinking more along the lines of that was one of the original things that the team did, was shut off the power sources, and then realised that the adaptive AI started using anything else it could lay its hands on to keep going. I'm not saying like a full-blown Matrix human battery situation, but...
The cleaning droids, all of the cleaning robots.
Oh god, I can still hear their screams tonight.
I had to learn to climb on the walls. The floors were too slippery to walk on.
Canon.
Okay. So here's a question. Another one. Captain Zavir.
Yep.
Of all the fire teams in your company, you've chosen Corporal Aluans as your personal retinue. Why is that?
Corporal Aluan has a reputation for being prepared for just about anything. And it just whenever Captain Zavir has a brilliant idea, of course, it means that she often happens to on hand have exactly what is exactly, or at least approximately, what is necessary for that idea to work, in the loosest term of the word work.
For it to be successful at all.
Yeah, it was like I know what we can do, but I need 2 gallons of adhesive.
Well, it just so happens.
Okay.
If you were MacGyver, I am your pocket full of lint and a paperclip.
So here is the next question.
There's also some. I will say there's also some of her many of the squad members are a little more independent, and he likes that in a squad.
Okay.
Company. Or
It's a fire team.
Or in a fire team.
Yeah. Because it's a corporal is in charge of a fire team, and commissioned officers tend to basically commandeer a fire team as their personal retinue whenever they're on the job.
Whenever he decides, he makes a show of spinning this roulette with this little made roulette wheel to decide who he's going with. It just often seems to land on Ceres' squad.
Okay. Where was your company? Where was the Calamity Company when the Sentients invaded the system? What did the Empire have you do? They came from the Tau system, returning from what was supposed to be a terraforming operation in the Tau system that started long before any of you were born. Mm-hmm. And they returned with aggression. Where was the Calamity Company, and what did the Empire have you do?
Due to some recent mishaps that were coincidental and in no way the fault of Calamity Company or any of its leadership, the Calamity Company was assigned to very important duty on the outer reaches of the system, which meant that they were actually present at one of the first stations taken over by Sentients. Okay. That station isn't around anymore.
Ooh.
There was some evacuating. There was some evacuating, a lot of fighting, and at some point the station may have suffered an explosion or two.
A catastrophic explosion.
Catastrophic structural failures.
Okay.
Is what the report described.
And finally, for all yous, the company just returned from a sortie. What were you doing? How did it go?
I don't know what that is yet.
A sortie is a mission. It's just
okay. Cool.
A sortie is basically a longer mission.
Not necessarily a Warframe game sortie, just a military term sortie.
Okay.
Well, guys, come on. I've been speaking a lot. What did you do?
Luke, but I'm worried he's still a robot. Let's get Luke to answer this one.
Beep boop.
Hi.
What did
What
you do? What did Captain Severe order you to do? Captain Doom?
Is this a tribunal? Am I under oath?
Yeah.
What did you do that went rather against his orders that may or may not have been justified? I don't know. What happened?
Oh dear.
This will not be going on record. It is merely for our personal recollections.
Okay, fair enough. I suppose hunting down some dissidents that were playing cat and mouse through some kind of hive, not hive city, but some kind of cityscape, and things got a little bit brutal.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to step away for just a second. Sorry for you guys. I'll be right back. Should give you guys time to continue to finish up your stats and skills and relationships.
Let's see. I need 3 more points of relationships.
Yeah, are we gonna have any relationships with each other? Do we necessarily like each other?
I mean,
I have a 1-point relationship with you. As at the very least the corporal that puts up with me.
it doesn't have to strictly mean positive relationship. It's just the amount of strength you draw from that relationship. You could fucking hate someone, and that could drive you to do things.
You know what? That's true.
You can also have relationships with you can also have relationships with concepts. For instance, Captain Dulant has a relationship with obfuscating stupidity.
That's right. That's right. I forgot you wrote the series of words down.
As at least you could blowing shit up. I should change that.
Also, I don't know if it'll come up mechanically, but apparently you're also our squadron's fighter ace, Luke.
Oh god, yeah, that's true. Oh dear.
Yeah, you're the hotshot. Remember, you're the hotshot pilot that had more kills on the side of theirs than anybody.
That's encouraging. We've got 12 dice.
Okay, I'm back. How is Luke's status as a android?
It's a little bit of an android. I wonder if he should restart.
I would, but I'm currently rendering something. And it's
That
like
could-
98%.
That is probably why you're
That's
roboting.
probably it.
Yes, it
Yeah.
will be over soon. I do apologize for this.
You're rendering something.
Yes,
What are you rendering?
fat. Making candles. What of it? None of your fucking business. That's my shitty YouTube channel.
He plays video games
Does that require rendering?
where he's British at YouTube for a while.
Well, yes. I mean, there's that.
That's the best description. I'm British at YouTube.
Someone needs to be.
Don't worry, it'll be a God-forbidden wasteland within another 3 months.
What? Britain or YouTube?
Both. It's a race.
Okay.
So who can get there first? I mean, if one of those hurricanes decides to turn around and just hit the UK, it will swallow us like a fucking quail egg. No, seriously, like one of them is the size of France. It would eat the entirety of the England and Ireland and Wales and Scotland for breakfast. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
What?
made that too real.
It's okay,
We're all
man.
very afraid of weather.
Nature scares me.
Nature scares me. I guess
That's-
I don't want to get too real, but I guess fucking Hurricane Irma is the size of Ohio, like in its entirety, like bigger than Ohio.
Jesus.
I mean, hurricanes are very large. You have to remember, though, that not every part of that hurricane is as like dangerous as the most dangerous part of that hurricane.
That is true, but the dangerous part of that hurricane is a very large part, and most of it is Ohio.
You know, in Idaho they use every part of the hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I suppose I will.
How many relationship points do I got? I forgot the number you said.
You have 12 dice for relationships.
12.
That's a dumb thing to put dice into, but I'm happy to do it.
I made a character.
You did it. Wow.
Good job. You did the thing.
He's good at things.
I mean, as he should be.
Also, he's apparently got asthma. 2 in guts, 1 in wind.
Oh no.
He's look, I had other important things to put points in. I mean, I had to be the stealthiest in spite of a poor feat score.
Your poor feets.
Poor feats.
I feel like my character being like such a warm personality should have a relationship with everybody in the company.
I mean, you can make sure to at least have a relationship with everyone in your fire team.
I could, but I've mostly stuck to as the leader, as the captain of all fire teams, technically.
Yes. No, I was talking about Amanda.
Yeah. So he's got all, yeah. Xavier's relationships with his lieutenants, and his, and Aluwand, because, Aluwand supports him. Perhaps reluctantly, but she does. I was tempted to take a relationship with Private DeVise.
Do it.
You
You
can,
know
yeah.
how much you love him.
I might. You know what? Why not?
I ship it. Yes, that is a pun. Yes, it is a pun.
Was
You
it?
did it. You made
did.
the pun.
Look at Devise's
Okay.
description and guess who he guess what Warframe he is. Becomes.
Oh god, damn it, Notorious Kleptomaniac, I just got that. Fuck! I'm not a particularly smart person.
It's okay.
It's also okay.
How is your internet?
I've now finished rendering, so it should
Yeah,
be.
you sound way better.
It
How
sounds
about
so
that?
much better, yeah.
Yay!
Okay, so you
What are you
guys,
rendering, fat? I'm gonna remember that. Bro.
Oh. Look, occasionally you just got to make tallow. Also, just so I can get a bit of a GM nod on this, is it okay that I have a 4-dice relationship with Shock and Awe Baby in all caps?
you cannot go above 3, but
3.
you have a
Okay,
3
great.
dice.
We're still stuck at 3 max at character creation.
Oh, yes, sorry.
God, I'm gonna remember fucking Sam realizing that relationships could go above 3 forever.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna text him right now.
And while remind him.
Yeah.
Didn't it happen like towards the end of
Yes.
Freedom?
Yeah, it
Something
did.
like,
So like the
'cause I
final
think
arc.
I was there. I was like, "How long have you been playing this game?"
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, Jesus. All right, then, in which case I'll take that point out and I'll put it into my relationship with MacGyver.
I just text him relationships go above 3. That's all the text says.
Hell yes.
I will let you know how he responds.
Okay. So, you've all returned. You've all returned from. I'll say it was a dense cityscape on Neptune. You all returned from your sortie on a dense cityscape in Neptune, and just after the 45 minutes to an hour of debriefing and getting rid of your gear and all that jazz.
It's not what he meant, Captain. Put your pants back on.
What did Sam say?
Just in all caps, Christ.
Oh.
Some things can never be forgotten.
All forgiven, apparently.
So yeah, after about the 45 minutes to an hour of debriefing and putting your gear back and everything, you guys all have mess hall. It's after a successful mission, so you all have a rather pretty decent meal waiting for you. The whole company is put on standby for the time being, since you just returned. And at mess, everyone sits more or less wherever they want, but the majority wind up sitting together with people of equal rank or within the same fire team. So Sergeant Tamara, Ceres and Emery's sergeant, who is a very kind and compassionate woman with olive skin, a shaved head, and many beautifully colored tattoos all over her body. She is your direct superior officer. She tends to to spend time at mess hall with the other sergeants. But yeah, otherwise, fire teams tend to stick together. So yeah, you guys all have a chance to get something to eat, with the promise that there will be rec time after this. Private DeVise, who is a man in Private DeVise, who is a notorious kleptomaniac, kind of a sarcastic jerk, who has a very long braided, very long braided beard, dreadlocked hair, and dark skin, is chewing rather loudly, much to the chagrin of Private Shanis, who is a stoic man from the remnants of Ireland. He's tall, muscled, square-jawed, and uncomfortably handsome. He's also in charge of the kennels, and he has ruined any use that you may have found in the Kubra there. He has spoiled and babied them until they are useless.
They're therapeutic, that's all that matters.
Private Shanis is constantly looking up from his food to at Private DeVise, who is chewing loudly. Eventually, after he picks up a dinner roll and just shoves it into DeVise's mouth across the table, because the bastard just won't stop chewing with his mouth open. DeVise just smirks at him, stares him in the eyes, and chews louder.
You fool, you gave him more ammunition.
Private Norn, a short woman with dark skin and bushy black hair, who looks frail and is kind of a huge nerd, but is known in your guys' fire team as one of the deadliest women to ever hold a science gun. Private Norn just kind of scoots away from these two, as Shanis is just staring daggers into DeVise's eyes.
What do I have to do? I have to roll to just suddenly be there, slapping them both on the back simultaneously and being like, "Friends, eat up!"
Nothing. You don't have to roll anything.
Yeah, but like you blink and the captain's there. He slaps them both heartily on the back.
Private Shanis jumps a little. Private DeVise then coughs and keeps coughing because he was chewing to annoy Shanis, and now he's choking.
You should get that looked at. You may have picked up a bug on mission.
I pass him a glass of water.
He downs it.
When he looks back at his plate, Emery has already taken a few choice morsels from it, walked off.
You know, I didn't think I was going to end up getting the short straw on this one. Not what I expected. Well, maybe I should have thought a little more on what you were doing, you ass.
Do not worry. I will get you a full-size straw. He procures a full-size straw, hands it to him.
Thanks. Exactly what I needed.
Now then, eat up, enjoy.
And
He will-
Private Norton is just like, yes, sir, Captain, sir.
That was not an order.
Oh.
It was an enthusiastic suggestion.
Yes, sir, Captain, sir.
We'll work on that.
She just kind of sinks down in her chair a little bit.
But yeah, he smiles and walks off to go bother another fire team. Before ultimately sitting down to bother, assuming they take their meal here with the men, but before sitting down and mostly just bothering Lieutenant Fields.
Yes, he's just sitting there having his soup. And before you even get there, he's just like, yes, Captain. I know you're behind me.
But I didn't say anything.
No, you didn't. You were going to. He moves over so you have a seat.
Thank you, Lieutenant. One of these days, you keep that up. One of these days, I fear I will no longer be able to sneak up on you.
Yes, that's the intention.
Little do you know, he's hiding a bell that he plans to plant on you sometime.
Lieutenant Fields is a incidentally, just to have that on recording. Lieutenant Fields is Lieutenant Aragonis Fields is a very professional and businesslike man with fair skin, very messy black hair, and dark, somewhat intimidating eyes. It's very stoic, calm, and endlessly patient. Captain, I know that there's rec time after this. Lieutenant Cabella wanted me to pass on that he is going to be taking a fire team to be on standby.
To be on standby? Did he say what?
To remain alert, anyhow.
I see. That is good thinking of him, if somewhat spoil sporty.
I would be joining him if it weren't for the amount of things you had me do in Neptune.
Oh, we were all busy. I mean, some of us were busy with, enjoying the sights, but we were all busy.
The Neptune sites, water.
Some of us were busy, I don't know, tracking down known criminals.
Look, we all have our different paths to get there, but in the end, we all got there.
Did we really? Was it worth it, Captain?
Well, you saw what happened to the criminals. I'd say it was worth it. Do you think they're still upside down?
If they're not, they're dead.
just from across the room where Emery's been overhearing this, just that there's an emphatic single nod.
Which is weird because you're across the room and suddenly you just start nodding. Like, oh honey, do you have a bee? Is there a bug?
I just also like to imagine periodically when anybody who's staring at the captain will periodically notice the captain smile and turn and smile and wave at them. give a friendly smile and wave to them before going back to his conversation and meal.
So is there anything in particular you guys are going to be doing during mess?
Eating.
Apart from eating other people's food.
All right.
Mostly just chatting, making sure everybody's morale is up, that there aren't anybody facing.
Go ahead and give me a some kind of charm roll
Sure.
to bolster morale.
Yes, I'll throw in my relationship with obfuscating stupidity.
It only stands to reason, yes.
2 7s.
Okay. Yeah. People are relatively people in the company are relatively receptive to your idiocy. You help the majority get into a more relaxed state after a long sortie. Mess hall ends within an hour, and rec time is provided for the company following their sortie. Which is to say that while the company remains on standby just in case they need to be contacted, they effectively have the rest of the day to do as they will. There is a very large rec room near the end of the bunker that you guys happen to spend most of your time in here on Lua. The rec room is fairly large. It's about the size of a Lunaro field, with sectioned off areas for different activities. There are several other rooms attached to it, though.
But if we cleared away everything, we could play Lunaro, right?
Well, okay. There's several other rooms attached to it. One of which is a Lunaro field.
Okay.
There's the all-purpose rec room in the center there, the kennels, the aquarium, the Lunaro field, a firing range, and a VR room. The members of Private Series or Corporal Series' firing squad kind of settle into their particular habits. Deviz, for instance, occupies one area of the main rec room, just kind of sewing and doing crafts, various things to attach to his armor, all to make it look cooler. So he kind of has like a little crafting corner. Private Norn spends her time actually at in the firing range, as she has she likes to design and test out new weapons, and eventually send them off to R&D in the Empire. So she's at the firing range right now testing out one of her newer designs. Private Shannis, surprising nobody, is currently in the kennels. Then one of Ceres' colleagues, Corporal Orinzuku Kirune, a who is a attractive woman of Asian descent with a long mohawk tied back into a ponytail. She runs a fire team that always has a mounted railgun on reserve. She and Ceres both answer to Sergeant Tamara Sandogal. So Rinzuku and her fire team have actually moved to the Lunaro field, and she is basically acting as a referee for a big Lunaro game for her fire team. And Tamara, your sergeant, she's just kind of moving about idly in the rec room, just keeping tabs on everyone, seeing if everyone's okay. She's still got some nervous energy left over from the sortie. The captain's subordinates, Lieutenant Kabeya, as the captain knows, is actually on alert with a fire team that he has taken as his retinue, and he's actually in the comms room, a bit away from the rec room, with a fire team, and Lieutenant Fields has retired to the aquarium. So, yeah, you have rec time for the rest of the day. Anything you would like to do?
I've no doubt scattered some plants all throughout the area, so I'll probably take the time to go around and water them and check up on them.
Okay.
Every stuffy business setting needs a little greenery.
Yeah, totes. Sergeant Sandogal actually approaches you as you're doing so.
Okay.
And she's just like, "Oh, wow, that is turning out beautiful."
Oh, do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
It's growing very strong. I was worried because the lighting in here isn't necessarily what it would be used to, but it seems to be doing well, thriving in this strange situation.
The coloration on the balloons are beautiful too.
You think so? I bred this specific breed myself. You know, you have two beautiful plants cross-pollinating, and you could get something entirely new and save the seeds from that. And
Corporal, are you all right?
yes,
You seem especially nervous.
it's just no one's shown interest before, and I didn't really have anything prepared as to my process, and so it's fine.
She puts a hand on your shoulder.
I'm all right if these little pieces of me decorate the background, just so people know that they're there, but maybe not necessarily too in the way, I guess.
And like your desk?
My desk is my space.
Of course. No, I love it too. And I think you're doing very well with it. I'm
Thank you.
happy
I love
that...
you too.
Hmm? There's a long pause. between the both of you. And on that, I want to cut away to someone else.
cut away to Captain Xavier, who before going to the aquarium, Lieutenant Fields has chained to his desk to finish doing reports and paperwork and other after-action bullshit.
Literally chained you to the desk, too.
Literally chained to the desk. You can see a nice plant behind him, though. Cut back to that scene.
Beautiful scenery.
Yeah, just.
You're an officer, so at least your chains are nice.
Yeah.
Finishes writing, takes a moment to appreciate the chains. Turns over a page, keeps writing.
Oh, they actually splurge on the ivory and real gold on this one. Nice.
Nice. That's
Next
synthetic
page.
gold.
Look, when your empire's aesthetic is gold,
Starts writing with his fucking pen full of saffron ink.
so what is Emery up to during that call or that time?
Probably after trying and failing to actually get a game of Lunaru going, Emery's just going to be kind of...
I mean, there is one going right now, actually.
Oh, in which case Emery is fucking destroying folks. If this was touch contact, it is now full contact.
I like to think you're wandering around trying to get people interested. It's like, where's everybody? Where's all the people who are interested in Lunaro? And then you head to the Lunaro field and they're already playing.
Yeah. Corporal Kirune Rinzuku. She is currently acting as the referee for her fire team, as they are all playing Lunaro. Do you express interest?
Yes.
It seems we have another interested party.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was looking for... never mind. Have you got space for one more?
We would have to acquire another player to even it out.
Or you could just drop one. I can nail that guy from here. But no problem at all.
I don't think a referee is entirely necessary. Sun or moon?
Anyway, moon. Always moon.
And she joins. She joins with Sun and the other two members of her fire team that are on the Sun side high five her individually.
I'm assuming Emery walks over to the other side and the members of the fire team look at each other in a "oh shit" sort of way.
Yeah. Oh no.
Emery just grins at them, cracks her knuckles.
Let's see. Roll PE to see how this goes.
Oh, I was going to say, well then, it looks like you need a new referee. Severe out of nowhere.
How did you get out of your chains?
He's just dragging the desk. I had the desk put on wheels.
You know what? Yes. He is simultaneously doing reports at a desk he is dragged out to the Lunaro field as he is refereeing this game.
Oh, the goose. Would it be okay to throw a relationship into this?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
I thought ahead. I have modified my desk. It is now motorized.
3x7.
3x7. All right, yeah. The competition is fierce, and a long game of Lunaro is ahead of you. But you and Team Moon are absolutely excelling over Team Sun, despite Rinzuku's presence. The captain, who has decided to referee, kind of, while at his desk, while he's also doing reports, feels a presence behind him.
Oh dear. Is something the matter, Lieutenant?
Captain. This is ridiculous even for you.
They needed a ref. What kind of captain would I be if I did not help out my men? Mostly women, it turns out, but my men.
You set a new low of my expectations every day.
Look, I'm almost done with this one.
This is motorized, isn't it?
No. Getaway mode! Play is temporarily interrupted as the captain crosses the center of the field in a motorized desk.
I don't know what would be funnier if it's fast or slow.
Yes.
But is play really interrupted? Is it really interrupted, or is he just like
I guess
slowly motoring along, just like with the Lunaro ball, just like periodically passing by his head?
I like to imagine that everybody factors it into the game temporarily and like boxes someone in the slow-moving desk. Gently pushes them out of bounds.
You see, a pen rolls off his desk, and just as he reaches to go pick it up, the Lunaro ball flies through where his head was.
Can I just ask, how old is Severe?
He's probably late. I'm thinking mid to late 30s.
I get the impression of a doddering old 70-year-old. Like one of those old Prussian generals with the massive moustache and the chest full of medals.
He just acts like one.
It's his aesthetic.
I could. I didn't establish his age. Is it funnier? Severe's like ancient.
It's whatever, man. It's your character. At some point, by the way, Captain, you find that your desk is no longer moving at your volition.
Huh.
And it turns around. And you see Lieutenant Fields has a small device.
When did you install that?
You can thank Corporal Aluans.
I will be sure to.
Always prepared for any situation.
Does he start wheeling the...
Yes, he starts wheeling it away. You know, a moment ago, I'm just imagining this awkward silence between Ceres and Tamara, and Lieutenant Fields just kind of happens to walk between them. Corporal.
Yes, sir.
The captain has created some kind of mechanized desk.
Oh, say no more, sir. Let's go take care of that right now. Yes, please lead the way. Fast, if you could.
I was really hoping. See, I think it's funnier. I think it's funnier.
You had me at the captain.
I was gonna say, I think it's funnier though if that scene is interrupted by the desk just wheeling slowly by them.
Oh, it's okay.
Just both of them just stop what they're doing to stare as it goes by, with Lieutenant Field just being like, nothing to see here.
So inevitably, Team Moon does win at Lunaro. Without too many injuries, actually. It turns out that Kirune does happen to run a pretty solid fire team. Sergeant Tamara has arrived at some point to applaud everybody. The captain is wheeled off against his will,
Unceremoniously wheeled away back to his office.
Anyone else have anything they intend to do during rec time?
I suppose everyone will just kind of give an appreciative nod to Oliver. I'm just like, nice, you finally got that thing working. He was always interrupting our goddamn rec time. About time someone finally managed to assume control.
Amanda?
Sorry? Hi,
you
I'm here.
muted?
Yes, I was muted. Sorry, my family is texting me.
Oh, are they here?
I mean, they're always here, NATO.
No, are they on their way?
Nobody. I have to go to them.
Oh. Oh, so should we end here then?
I probably have like a couple minutes I could spare.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
We established the ridiculous dynamic that is this company.
Yes.
What is this bullshit?
So yeah. You, Emery, you were saying to Ceres?
Oh no, just gives them a kind of polite nod and just a nice. I was wondering when someone was going to finally rig that thing up. I was getting sick of watching the captain fly around here, smiling, being pleasant. It's not natural.
Pleasantness?
You know what I mean? Captain's just so happy.
You think he's insincere?
No, I think he's insane.
Well, his methods may be unorthodox, but they certainly have gotten results, wouldn't you say?
I'm not arguing with that. Just when you're given the order to make an example out of some criminals and you end up hanging them upside down over an endless chasm of dark sub-ocean water, and he walks off with a great big grin on his face, you do start to wonder whether or not everything's, tickety-boo up in the old headspace.
How would you have done the situation any differently?
You hear from the side, Davies just saying, "I bet there'd be more explosions."
There would be quite a lot more explosions. In fact, there were probably some sea mines we could have requisitioned, though. Could have had some fun with that.
Ooh, like one of those floating sea mines. Make those stealthy and tell them to swim across.
I see. The less insane option, yes. I understand.
But I would have been happy about it. That's the important thing.
Well,
I'd have laughed.
You'll laugh at anything.
I'm laughing now.
I know.
no use dwelling on the past, I suppose.
You're quite all right.
Me? What would ever make you think that I wasn't?
You look happy. I know
What am I not happy? I'm fine.
Oh no, there's kind of a bloom to your face.
Is that a pun?
Sergeant Son
Son of a bitch!
Degal happens to
I give her a hug.
your sergeant Son Degal happens to walk in to where passing you guys by as you were chatting, and gives you a very slight wave.
I drop Emery.
Acting Sergeant. Ow.
Ma'am?
I heard something about it. I heard something about the explosions, and I was just making sure.
No, these are purely theoretical explosions. Sarge.
Fantastical, all in good fun.
Hypothetical explosions. Aye.
You know, taking the theory, then you can put it into practice. You always said we should be planning more.
Just hopefully not on base. I'm glad you guys are having a good time, though.
Nobody just shrugs.
And she'll smile pleasantly and walk off.
I'm so sorry. You're all right? Is your tailbone all right? I don't know what came over me. The gravity.
Everybody's just kind of giving a low, dirty laugh as she gets off the floor.
You know, I don't think this is my place. I'm gonna go mess with that nerd Janice.
Oh, leave him be.
Well, I mean,
I bet he's cuddling a puppy right now.
And what's wrong with that? Does that not sound like a good time?
It does, but also he's a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, it's not that he's a nerd. It's that he's the safest nerd to bully. All the other nerds on our team are heavily armed scientists who will happily not vaporize you, but like do unpleasant things to you with subsonic waves.
Speak for yourself. Norn will disintegrate me.
There is something to be said about poking a dog with a stick.
I'm not gonna poke his pups.
Eric's just gonna walk off, trying not to die.
He's gonna go mess with that nerd.
The last thing that we need is infighting. This whole outfit would fall apart if there were infighting.
You gotta admit, though, it'd be hilarious while it lasted.
Thank God I'll never see a reality where that exists. Yeah, that references.
And elsewhere, Captain Dulance. You are at your desk, chained, mind you, and you get a call on your personal comms.
Yeah. This is the captain.
Lieutenant Kabaya. There is a problem.
Problem?
Yes. Colonel Eckert needs to speak with you.
Very well.
Colonel Eckert being your direct superior officer.
Okay.
Who happens to dispense missions and other sorts of briefings to you to give to your company. You know him as being kind of a posh but efficient man.
Is he on base or
It's a
I assume
transition.
on comms? Yeah.
It's on comms.
Very well. I will be there shortly.
And Kabe ends the transmission.
At which
Or is it
point,
off?
Dumont just effortlessly slips out of the chains and begins making his way down towards the comm station,
Of course.
making sure he's at least also dressed somewhat in official capacity, since he does a brief spot check of just like, I'm not going to completely embarrass this company, but I don't want to look too stuffy either.
And when you arrive, there is a holographic image of Colonel Eckhart in the middle of the room. He is a finely dressed man in his twilight years with an impeccable mustache.
How much does he tolerate my bullshit?
Well, to give you a good example of that, the first thing he says is, "Captain, long time no speak," which is an obvious joke because it's only been 12 hours.
What can I say? They keep me busy.
Indeed, I do.
I take it you are about to make me busier.
Unfortunately, yes. I wish we could exchange banter before the briefing, but time is regrettably short.
Very well. He will. He'll sort of glance around, and make sure. I assume, how private is this? Is this like everybody?
He hasn't dismissed he hasn't dismissed Kabaya or Kabaya's firing team.
Okay, so he doesn't he remains attentive and semi-formal, but he doesn't go into like a full-on serious mode with the too many other people around.
Right. We received an automated SOS from what appears to be a resource transport, drifting away from the solar rail of Ceres. It has no obvious heading, no elevator readouts, and appears to be a new ship. A team from the Ceres rail were dispatched to investigate, but we've heard no further word since they boarded. The rail authority is reticent to continue the investigation and is demanding military support. Can I count on you to handle this matter?
Of course, though it is a very strange request for the military. What can we expect?
As I said, there's been no word from anyone inside, only an automated distress call. It is drifting past the solar rail of Ceres.
Do we know?
And he throws up some images.
Yeah.
For you, and it does indeed look like a very new transport ship. It is, of course, of a broken design.
Right.
But,
so yeah, it's not a sentient ship if it was reported by like local rail, like
right.
authority.
And yeah, it looks like it's on low power.
I take it that that the captain notices a lack of details about the ship coming on screen.
Yep.
We have no record of where this ship came from.
Indeed. That's the worrying aspect. That's why the rail authority is demanding our support.
I see.
The ship came in. The ship arrived at the solar junction and began to drift rather than pass through. almost as if it was interrupted en route, but from nothing obviously visible.
Were there any signs of exterior damage?
No. And he shows you more pictures, just
Yeah.
just giving like
Closer
close observations of the ship and all that.
No armaments to speak of on this ship. It is.
Judging entirely by its class, it's a resource transport. If there are armaments, it's for personal protection only.
But yes, very well. We will. And are we to? It sounds as though we are to scramble immediately. Then,
As soon as possible, ideally, please. How you investigate is up to you. You get results, and I trust in those results. Echo Taos. And he ends the call. So you're basically given a choice here. You can mobilize the whole company. If you can give that order to mobilize the whole company. There is a large enough ship that is usually outside of your bunker that you can use to fit the whole company and hop to the Ceres rail. Or you could send fighters and other small aircraft with this smaller team to hop the rails to the Ceres rail.
he assumes he wants to send a smaller team. Can I roll like or should we just end there as we get the new mission before I make this decision?
I mean, like, you guys can keep going. I just gotta scoot.
Yeah, we can end there as you get a mission. As you get the mission, and we'll end with the captain deciding how he is going to dispatch and who, and what exactly he's going to tell the company after they just returned from a mission, and now they're being sent on a new one.
Right? Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah.
He has some reservations about this situation.
Thank you for the game, NATO. I had a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna
glad.
really character as I figure out more about her. I want her to be kind of calm and collected, but I also noticed that she had a lot of in common with Samara, and I'm like, fuck it, she's got a crush on her. Like,
Yeah. Hell, why not? I love it. It's adorable.
You're determined to make me regret not playing Trinity, huh? No. It's okay. All right. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Severe.
Why would you regret not playing anyone but the person you're playing?
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Yep. Glad you guys had fun. I'm going to end this recording here.
Woo.